Hey everyone in the room, have you guys set everything up? Okay. So it is time to get started slowly.
Yeah. So I have to.
Are you all set up in the room? Are we good to go?
So we are set up. My techniques on.
Fantastic. Okay, so I will kick things off. That welcome back. This is workshop 4, so it's all very exciting, and hopefully the last session, we started delving into R. So this time we're going to keep working in R and get to try out some data wrangling skills and such. And I will hand over to Gloria, who is our fearless leader today with data wrangling in R. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm going to share my screen.
Hi, Jennifer.
Yes.
How are you?
We're good, Alan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to
kick things off. Sorry, I'm gonna hand over to you.
Yeah, so we're going to start it. I'm Gloria Shirima, and I'm going to lead this thing with Janice, who is in the room with the other members. And I'm so excited to present to you this data wrangling, which is just an extension to what we had in the last session. And we're going to keep this more interactive and doing more coding. So I'm going to be a bit fast when it comes to the slides, because I believe when it comes to us practicing, the coding part is going to make an impact to many of us. It might be really easy for the people who already know R or have done this. And for the starters, please, you can stop me at any time to ask questions, or when we're doing the coding, like we're going to show how to do it. So if you have any question at any time, please ask so that we can together. Something else is we will be doing breakout rooms from time to time, and that will be a time for us to really do the coding and try to do things ourselves. And this is just like a very small percent of data wrangling we're going to present. But what I can say is take time to practice. Take time to practice these things we're going to learn, and it's going to be really easy for you from there. So just a recap of what we had last time, I wanted to present a bit of what really are good conduct when we prepare our own scripts, when we try to code ourselves. And as we were taught last time how really we can assign things so that we can have them in the environment of our codes. There are also things that when you do it, ensures that your codes are reproducible. So you write your codes right now, and after 2 years, you're told by your supervisor or anyone, like, can we redo that thing? For it to be easy for you to like understand these things and remember well, these are like good conducts for us to be doing. And one of it is, first of all, ensuring that we have headings before starting coding. So this is an example where we keep here. For example, what is the objective of you doing the coding? When did you write it? Because you might have different versions of your coding. So when last did you do it, and who are the authors? Maybe the data that you have used, something like that. it's really easy to remember when you come open that code maybe 2 years after that. Something else is writing comments. And we're going to see all this when we're trying to code, because by writing comments, it's easy when you give the code to someone else to just know why did you do it. For example, here we are trying to read libraries. So I am doing maybe tidyverse, but what is this this package or the library for? Maybe this is for data management, another one for cleaning, another one for visualization, something like that. So commenting is really important. And something else is assigning values to store the information, because if we just read the data and we don't assign it to a name, it's not going to be stored in the environment for us to recap at the end of the day. Maybe like you want to do the manipulation of the data now, but if you don't assign it, it's not going to store itself in the environment. And we are going to see what do we mean by when it comes, we say the environment. And also a recap of last session we had with Sarah's was, if you need help, like Ara is really open to guide when it comes to what do you want to do, a certain function you don't know, you just like write the question mark. Like for example, here it's a question mark and import. So you want to know how do you import data. For us, we did read CSV. So you just do a question mark and read CSV, and it will tell you really how the function is. So with the last time when we were learning about R, one of the things that we want to cover is data exploration. And we saw that we can view data, we can see the structure, the class, the summary, and if you want to like view the data, the first 10 rows and the last maybe 10 rows, you just do head, then the data frame, or tail in the data frame. I think we're going to like do the exploration of the edited routine data that we have in the drive, and we'll see how really can we explore with all these functions. I think it's going to be easy that way. And so I think we'll take a few minutes to do this, where we're going to have now to open a new project, and we're going to name it Data Wrangling. And yeah, because of the session, it's easy for you to like just remember. Then we're going to read the data that we have. I think we have a link in the chat where we're going to read this edited routine data, and you're going to do exploring the data, like now to see what are the problems in the data for us to do the wrangling, like to do the manipulation. Because if the data is all fine and you can get all the information you need, then we don't have to like do the cleaning of the data. It will be well kept. But then let us take some minutes to do this, and maybe after like 2 minutes we can come back and see how we can go about. Juniper, maybe we can do breakout rooms for the 3 people online.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think this is a recap of the last times, like the last sessions. So it's going to be fast, I think, for many of us. Yeah. Let's try to do this.
Thank you so much, Gloria. So those people who are only online, you are going to get invited to join a breakout room where you will have like a one-to-one help available, and everyone else in the room. You have Janice over there, and we will be back in 5 minutes.
So just wanted to come on and back in the
Hi, Paul. How are you doing? Let me know if you are able to unmute, and just let me know how I can help. I know that you missed the last session, so if there's anything else you would like to go through, I'm really happy to help. So the task for now is to start a new project in R, and then you're going to place the data that we will be using into that folder. But let me know if you have any questions. I hope your connection is good enough today. I also just messaged you that if you prefer not to unmute, we can still use the chat if you'd like.
Hi, Juniper. Sorry, I was just in the middle of something. Apologies about that.
All good.
Yeah, I'm now on that. I'm using the phone. So,
So do you have your computer and R, or are
yes,
you
I have. I just need to switch it on.
okay?
Yeah.
So for this session, in about 2 minutes, I'm going to return everyone into the main room, and Gloria will continue describing the different tasks. But don't stress. We will come back into breakout rooms, so I can walk you through like the different exercises, even if like we're a little bit behind. So don't stress. Feel free to just start up your computer and everything.
Yeah, so my computer is open right now.
Okay. It would be quite like handy if you would be able to join the Zoom call from your computer, because then you're able to share your screen, and that will be easier to help you set things up. So
I'm just trying to find the link, and then I try to join using the laptop.
Okay, all good. We are going to return to the main session, so Gloria will continue with the different exercises. But don't worry. Feel free to just log on from Zoom, and then in the next breakout room, we will be back in the same breakout room, and we can catch you up.
All right, sure, thanks.
My pleasure. Okay, so we're going back to the main room now.
You're back?
Yes, we are. And hi, Sandra.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I was with Alan, but I think Alan left the meeting. But we can just proceed. The people in the room are catching up well. But I just wanted to now showcase to everyone how we can do it just in case anyone hasn't gotten there. So as I said, we have to like keep a bit of a comment, like a heading of what really we're doing. And I just kept it like this, not well kept, but this is a title that we're doing data wrangling session and the date of today. We have to read the data, and reading the data, we can just have this highlighted part of reading underscore CSV. And having this read underscore CSV, it means it reads the data, but it won't take it won't take our data to the environment. When I was speaking about the environment, this is it. So let me first of all clear, because this was it. Yeah, we'll have our environment empty like this before we do anything in the codes. And with us having read underscore CSV of the edited routine data, and I assign it to DF and I read it, then we will have DF having it in our environment. And we have a bit of a summary in our console that this is the data with having 1,200 rows and 17 columns. And some of the column names are listed here. And now for us to do now the exploration to see really how the data is, we can view the data as what we said. And viewing is always capital V. So we view, and now we view the DF because we already assigned our data frame as DF. So we just said view DF. And with that, it displays how our data frame is, as how we always look at it in the Excel. So this is how we can view it here in the R. And so it gives exactly that. It's showing 1 up to 19 of 1,200 entries. Here, I am reading somewhere here. And 17 total columns. We can all see it, right? Yeah, and 17 columns. So this is how the data is being viewed. But when we want really to see, okay, what is the structure of our data, we just do str of df, which this displays the structure of the data variables. And when we run, okay, so for me running, I will do only Control Enter, but we can run up here for someone who, and yeah, we have the structure here, like admin 1 is a character, and admin 2, others are numeric. Yeah, something like that. And it displays how they appear here. And with the head and the tail is us just displaying the first few rows or the last few rows. And what we do is, and something else is us commenting. I think that is also important. So this is viewing the data frame. And this is structure of the data. Because with this, then if anyone gets your script at the end of the day, they will know exactly what you were doing. So when we want to display, and if I'm fast, please let me know. And it will be glad if you just follow what you're doing. So display the first and last. I can say few, but sometimes it displays only the last and first 10 rows. So what we do is head. Okay, it's a, okay, with the DF. So head with the DF, this is what it displays. Like we have here I'm reading in my console. It displays the first 6 rows of maybe admin 1 and and all other columns. Then we can do tail to display the last. Here we do tail. DF. With this, it displays the last rows that we have in the data. So this is how we can really explore. And something else, you can just, if you want to view the names of the columns that we do have, you just do names and DF. And when you run it, I'll run it here. And we see all the names of the columns that we do have. So this is how we can really explore this data frame, and we can now know like what are the problems that we do have. For example, in this names of the column, we see that for every name, like this is test of RDT under 5, and after every word we have the underscores, which are well kept, and these are readable when it comes to R. But when we have a name like this is test MIC under 5. This is really not good practice when it comes to us having column names in R. And sometimes we have to do other conditions for us to read this. So with us, when we're doing this data manipulation, we have to clean our column names so that we can have them readable in R. And also we can also see we all have all these in small letters, but we have these tests over 5 all in capitals. So this can be confusing because you will know this is test over 5 all small letters, but we have to clean this so that they can all be we have to clean so that they can all be in small letters. Do we have any question there? Okay, if we were good, I'll just go back to the slides.
You can, okay, so.
Do we need few minutes in the room?
Minutes.
Okay. Give a few minutes to proceed. And the ones online, do we have any question maybe?
No question from me.
No question. Oh.
I know that Powell is just setting up his computer, so we haven't been able to create the R project yet. So in the next
when I follow the link you shared on WhatsApp for the data, I'm not finding it in the folder for workshop 4. I don't know if I'm the only one. What's the one I want to set up?
Google Drive. I will share again, but I'm sure it works.
So I think there's an issue with the folder because you can't really see the files, but Janice shared the file in the chat. It's there as the Excel file is in the chat. Maybe you can get it from there as well.
Ah, you know what?
Okay, so maybe someone can reshare. Okay, because let me try this one.
I will quickly do that. Gloria, so what happened previously with Poonam when she uploaded some things onto Google Drive with her Ifakara account? So Ifakara has a very special Google Drive enterprise security setup. And for external people, it's not always visible. So I'm going to upload it again from my account.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Thank you for letting us know, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, I've gotten it from the chat. I'm just trying to now put it on the Aura. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Powell, do you need to like someone to assist with you sharing your screen?
I need to share the screen. I can share.
No, do you need to go to the breakout room for you to share your screen? Or you can share your screen so that you can show everyone how you're doing it?
Okay, let me share my screen just a
Okay,
minute.
I'll stop sharing. Okay. Okay, we can see your screen.
Yeah, so I think I was just trying to write the code to call in my data set.
Okay.
Regardless of where it is, if I just write the name of the data set, it will come out to be called, right?
It has to be on the right path. So you have to know where you kept your data.
So right now it's in the downloads.
Then you have to take the path. Did you create a new project? No.
No, not yet.
Okay. Then you have to go to the downloads and take the path. Okay, you're creating a new project. Okay. Data wrangling.
The one that I can't see it from the downloads. That's okay.
If you wanted to keep it in the downloads, then you just do open so that the projects can be in the downloads.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have to now keep the data set inside the folder with data wrangling, like the edited routine data in the downloads.
Sorry?
So now you have the new project, data wrangling, but the data set is not inside the folder of the project.
Okay.
So you have to like go back in the downloads and take the data set, you paste it in the data wrangling folder.
So like that, right? I don't know if you can see it.
I cannot see your downloads, like your
Oh,
folder.
okay.
But
Anyway,
it
I
should
went
deflect
because
here. Yeah, it should deflect here. Like we should be able to see on your right bottom with the file, we should be able to see the dataset edited. Yeah, it's there now. So we can read it. Read underscore CSV and then the name. You have to name it DF. Yeah, you assign it. Yes. Then the name.
yeah.
Yeah, with
I
the
can just type
comma.
it or I get the link.
Yeah, you type it, you type edited routine data CSV, but with the commas. Yeah, then edited.
Maybe we can mention a shortcut. When you want something filled out, you can press tab, and it usually automatically pops up the option. It's very
So
handy.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Juniper. Thank you, Powell. I think now we all have the dataset read. Yeah, and then if you want to view, you can do that. Yeah. Then I think we can proceed now.
I can stop sharing now. Thank you.
Yes, you can stop sharing. Thank you. I
Thanks,
think now
thanks
we
a lot.
all have like the data read. Maybe we can now proceed. So when we really, what a clean data looks like is the one we have at the bottom, because now the one on top, the dates are not well kept. I think we were able to identify this in our first workshop. And the one on the bottom is really how we want our data set to look like at the end of the day. And at the end of the this workshop, as we're doing all this coding, is we have this routine data which gives the number of people who were tested and who were confirmed with malaria cases. We have the data for over 5 and under 5, and we have at different admin 1 and admin 2. So if you were given a project for you to do and you were told like to calculate the total confirmed cases of under 5 in April across admin 1 zone. So this is a very specific question you might be given as a project for you to do and present maybe somewhere in the ministry. And you're told to answer this certain question. With you having that data, it needs you to do a certain manipulation so that you can have the exactly value which will indicate the total confirmed cases of under 5, because we already have like a column of over 5 and under 5. So you have to be very specific that you want the cases for under 5 in a very specific month across a certain admin zone, like admin 1. And for us to do all this manipulation that we want is using a package which is dplyr, which is a very, I can say, friendly and very nice. It does a lot for me when it comes to data manipulation and all these wrangling in R. And this package is installed in a tidyverse. So this tidyverse is like a universe which has the dplyr in it. And a very short, why do we call it dplyr, is from the plier, like the tool which we always use, and it's fix wires, screws, and all that. So that's just a simple introduction when it comes to the package that we are going to use. So we are going to, as we are doing the libraries, we are loading the libraries, we have to load a library called tidyverse so that we can use the dplyr in it. And for the today's function, what we are going to do is we're going to manipulate columns and rows in a different way. When you manipulate columns, I mean like you change the number of columns that the dataset has. And when we manipulate rows, it means you change the number of rows that we have. Because if we remember, at first we had 1,200 observations, which are the number of rows, and we have 17 columns. So as we're doing all these manipulations, we will see how we are changing this number of columns and number of rows. And with the manipulation of columns, we have either selecting the number of columns. So we select a specific columns that we need. We either mutate by adding a new column, because sometimes you need a certain calculation, maybe an average or a percentage of a certain column that you already have. So you have to mutate by adding a new column. Then we can rename the columns, we can clean the column names. All these manipulations are done in columns. Then when it comes to rows, we're going to see how we're going to filter by selecting specific, like with the objective, we have maybe the number of cases April. So we are going to select specific April for us to deal with, not all other January and when it comes to the month. So we're trying to manipulate the rows. So we can start with selecting, where now this is manipulating columns by us selecting columns that we really need to answer our objective. Because some of the columns are really not relating, like maybe the ones who were tested by RDT, I don't know, maybe tested different methods. Maybe we don't need that. We just need the tested under 5, not caring the methods that were being done. So we're selecting a specific columns that we do need. And for us to do selecting of the columns is very easy. Like this is a very one line for us just using the select column. We just say select. We named our data as DF, or if you named it different ways. So the logic on the first argument that we're keeping is let me use a pen. So the first argument we're keeping here is the name of the data set you kept. And the second one is what column are you selecting? So for example, here I just selected admin 1 and we see the answer, in the console, you'll see just admin 1 being presented. And when we said, maybe we need more than one column, so we can select by saying that it's the data frame that we're having. That's the first argument. And then what columns are you selecting? So maybe I want admin 1, admin 2, and test under 5. So by us writing as how they are, we'll be able to get a new data set. Like if you assign it, so that's a new data set, which has only 3 columns. Because we can see here, I said admin 1, admin 2, and test under 5. The value, like the number of columns have changed, but the number of rows are the same. We still have 1,200 rows, but we only have 3 columns. So we have manipulated the data, the big data set DF that we already have by selecting only few columns. But also selection, maybe if you want to select maybe like 20 columns out of maybe 100 columns that you do have, we can also do selecting by removing the certain columns that you do have. So this is us doing a DF, but we have like a minus sign here for us to say it's minus admin 1 and minus admin 2. So I don't need those 2 columns. I just need the rest of the data set without these 2 columns. And also there is a very clear way of us maybe selecting the value which contains a certain word. Like here I said, I want all the columns containing conf, because I already have maybe like the confirmed cases at 5, confirmed with RDT, confirmed with microscopy. I have confirmed over 5 and like that. So I can just say, instead of writing one after another, I can just say I want to select like DF, which contains conf. So it gives me all those variables, like it gives me all those columns. And here, like you see, it maintains the number of rows that we do have, but keeps, like there are only 6 columns, which contains conf, like that. So I think we can also do a small demo for us to see really how are we doing this in R. Okay. I'll just keep my screen. Okay. I think my screen is froze for a moment. Just a minute. My screen is all froze. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you, and we can see
Yeah,
that it's frozen.
my second screen is all froze.
Oh, it moved.
Yeah, now it's working.
Okay.
You can see it, right? Oh,
Yes, you can see.
okay. So here, I'll just do selecting columns. And we said like we want to select something. So I will just do select and so okay, so something else is okay, let me run this. I'm saying select with df and I'm saying selecting maybe only admin one. And when I run this, I'm having this error. You can all see my error here in the console. I mean, in the
Yeah, I was
console.
having the same error as well.
So we're having here an error of could not find the function select. Can anyone tell me, according to my codes, what the problem is? If it cannot identify the function? Anyone in the room?
I
No?
ran into a similar error, and I think in my yeah, I think in my case it was because I hadn't loaded the library that I was supposed to have that function.
Exactly. Because for us to be able to use the functions, we really need a library on top, and I did not write the library tidyverse. So here, I'll just add up loading libraries. Needed, and I will write library tidyverse. I'll just do tab. Yeah, tidyverse. So by me running this library, and now I run the select function, I'm having anyone has run the library and run the selects and you still have an error?
Yeah, so I had an error. I had switched versions that I was using for R before I'd installed 4.3 and I'd loaded all of the libraries, but I couldn't load one that required an updated one. So I did that yesterday, and then I started using the updated version of R, but now I can't access the previous packages that I'd loaded. And I know there's a way in which I could switch between different versions of R. Could that be maybe something that you can walk me through?
When it comes to a different version, I think as you upload a new version, going back to an older version, I don't know. I don't know if that is really possible because I can only see like here, I'm having like my 4.41. And so if I am trying to load packages in this version, like they just have to be updated on the version of R that I'm having. I don't know, Juniper, if you know that, how we can go back to.
It would be really useful to see your error message, how it looks like. For me, select always gives me an error because I have so many different packages already installed that another package is masking the function. So I put it in the chat that for me, the select function, I always have to define that I want to use the dplyr package. And that's the thing that you can do, the dplyr and double the two dots. And then you use the function and it works. So
yes,
if you can share your error message, maybe that's actually what's happening in your case as well.
Nema, can you share your error message in the chat? Yeah, but what
Hello?
Juniper was trying to say, yeah. Are you
yeah.
speaking,
No,
Emma?
go ahead.
Okay. So what
Go
Juniper
ahead.
was trying to say for... Go ahead.
No, sorry, my internet is a little bit slow, so I think it cuts off. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So what I was trying to say is what Juniper was saying is us being very specific to the package that we're trying to use is us saying that we want to use dplyr. And we already have as a drop down here. So we just select tab and we now say that we're using from the dplyr package, we're using the function select. So we say select df, then a comma, then we want admin1. So by doing that, we also get the admin1. Like now we can see that we have all the data set which has the number of rows 1,200, but we only have one column. We can see it's here. I just highlighted. Do we all have that select working, Powell? Okay, maybe we can do selecting more than one column. And it's the same. And now if you want this selection to create a new data set, it's just you assigning a name. So this we can call it selected columns. Selected columns, and we assign it to saying it's select. And then now the data frame. Then maybe we want admin1, admin2, and maybe what other? We have maybe an year. And us running it. So we see that these selected columns have run and we have it in the environment right now because now we have selected columns which has 1,200 observations, but only 3 variables. So when we try to view it, so also instead of me writing view selected columns, you can just press here in the environment. You just press and you'll be able to view now your new data set, which has only 3 columns, admin1, admin2, and year, but has all the number of rows that we do have, which is 1,200. That is also something we can do by assigning now the selected columns into a new data frame. Powell, are we together? I know you're not muted. You're muted.
No, we are together on that. I was trying to look for a socket where to charge my laptop. It's about to die. Unfortunately, I can't find it. So the little time I have for my battery life, I'll participate. But if it goes off, I'll join in using a phone.
Okay. Okay, let me
proceed. I was
proceed.
trying to look for.
Okay. And maybe we are having here an activity which we can all do. Using now the edited routine data, which we have named as DF, we select these 3 columns. I think that's going to be easy for everyone to like just maneuver. I don't know if Juniper now we need to go to the breakout rooms that Powell is having a problem with the laptop. Maybe we can just give a few minutes. Neema, maybe you can share your screen and show us how to do this, and we can all see. And then we're going to have someone in the room to do that for the next activity, so that we can all follow. I'll stop sharing.
Or maybe I do this one before I get logged out. Maybe I share the screen for this one.
Okay. Then
Neema, it's fine. Okay, Neema, it's fine.
Okay. Okay.
I'm okay, Paul. If you want to do it, I'm okay.
Please proceed, Powell. Please proceed.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay.
before it goes off.
Yeah, I can see your voice.
Yeah, so I was typing. I can't just see the last one. What was it? That was column.
Conf under 5. Conf under 5. So just write CON, then do tab, and it will give you like
CON.
Yeah. Now, okay, F. No, you have a lot of them. And then underscore. And then U5. Yeah. Can you run it?
Not CON. Okay, just like this.
Yeah, just like that. Okay, so we have an error. I think we can all see, and maybe we try to solve the error that
I
Powell
think
has.
it's a column that doesn't exist. So yes, it's supposed to be COLN.
So admin 1 in the data set, can you do call names there? Just write names, just write names.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you can now view the names. Then into brackets, df. Yeah, can you run it? Yeah. So we see how admin 1 is written. It's not admin as admin, it's just ADM.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
And remove the N. Yeah. Can you run it? Yeah. So we already have the selected 3 columns, which has all the 1,200. But something that we can do, Powell, is now assigning this thing into giving it a name. Now, if you want these 3 columns as a new data frame, we can just assign it to a name. You can even write df new, like before the select in line 15.
Okay, like df.
Yeah, you can write df new, underscore new, underscore. That's like a minus. R will not be able to.
Oh, underscore. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. So if you run it, yeah.
It
So
will
we
pop
see
up in the environment.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Powell.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Maybe we can run into another function. I hope everyone in the room can follow. Yeah. So we can run into another function before we take a break. It's a filter function where now we're not dealing with the number of columns. It does not change the number of columns, but it changes the number of rows that we're having. Because as we can see on the previous, we had a constant 1,200 observations, like the number of rows. Now we're dealing with the, now reducing the number of rows. So the filter function, it extracts rows from the data frame on a logical criteria. So we can say that we want maybe the month equals to January, or maybe we want admin 1 equals to West. So it just selects the rows which has admin 1 equals to West. So how to write the filter function, it's the same. We have filter, it's a small letter F actually. And then we have the data. So how you named your data. Then now we keep, what do you want? What do you want to filter? So here, for example, you want to admin 1 equals to West. And if you can see my equal sign, double equal sign, like equating to West, it's not a single equal sign. And for example, now our data frame, this is how it is. I highlighted like the month of January, because if I'm saying I want to filter month equals to January, it means it goes in the whole data set and try to scan where is the month January. I mean, where is it that we have the month equals to January? So for the ones that we do have here displayed, we have only 3 of them. Month equals to January. And what it does is now it takes all those rows, it keeps them in the new data frame. That's how filter works. And for us, we can keep only one argument or two arguments. So for me, I said I just want the month equals to January. So it gives me all those rows where the month equals to January aside. But what if I want month equals to January, but I don't want all the tested under 5. I just want tested under 5 which are greater than 200. So this is how you write it. Like, I want month of January and conf under 5 greater than 200. If I write and, it means all those two logicals, like all those two conditions have to be true for it to take the row. And when I don't write, if I write or, it means it takes all the data, like all the rows which have month of January, or even if it's not January, it's in February, but the confirmed under 5 are greater than 200. We're going to see this, how to do it. But when we write the end condition, it also filters more of all the many columns we have in January, and it gives you only 2 rows. Like there is only one in West and East, which have month of January, and also the confirmed under 5 here are more than 200, something like that. And yeah, maybe I can show you quickly before we run into the activity. So I'm just going to comment here. So we're on the filter function now, and it's the same. We do filter into brackets. We want to do df, like that's the data set that I do have. Then we have a comma. What do we want to filter? Maybe I want to filter the same, that month. So month equals to, and I'm using those, I don't know, how do you call it? Yeah, those saying that it's January. And make sure that if the January is a capital J, you do capital J. Because if I write here a small j, and I filter, you see, I'm having like 0 number of rows which align to what I said, just because of the January, me keeping it a small letter. But changing this into a capital January, now I'm having like 100 number of rows and the same number of columns, because it has not touched anything in my columns. It just does in the rows. Now I'm having only 100 observations, which are like aligning to the condition that I gave. And we can see here the months are all January. And are we all together? Because I want to add a second condition here.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So if I want to do 2 conditions, it's the same. I will do filter with the data that I do have. Then what do I want to filter? It's months, equating them to January. And I want to maybe say the same. Let's just do the same, like tests. Oh, let me do year. It's going to be a lot, but yeah. So here, no, here won't be one. So let's just do test under 5. Test under 5, it's greater. Let's say by 200. How would it be? So by me running these 2 conditions of saying month equals to January and test under 5 greater than 200, I'm having now 8 rows and 17 columns. Let me name this, maybe how do we call it? And condition. Sorry that these names don't relate, but I will do this as and condition and the next one as or condition. Condition where it's the same. So I do filter. Any question in the room?
No, so Gloria, it's not exactly a question, but more of a comment. We're wondering why the data that you're filtering doesn't remain. So we're just telling them that you have to assign them to a specific variable in order for you to be able to see it and also to be able to use it. But unless if you don't assign it to a variable, then it will remain in the console, as you see how Gloria was doing it before she assigned it. It was only in the console and she couldn't use it anywhere. But after you assign it to the variable, that's when you are able to use it and also see it in your local environment as well. That's it.
Thank you. That's understood, right? Because here, like at first, I did just filter. Like here, I did filter month, January, end, tests under 5. And I just have it in the console. I don't have it here because I had not assigned it the end underscore condition. So now that after assigning end underscore condition, and when I run it, you see, I have it here. Like end underscore condition, it has 8 variables and 8 observation and 17 variables. So I can use it later. I can even say, okay, after filtering, I want to select something else out of this data set. I can use it in the future. But before me assigning it to AND condition, I cannot use it. So it just remains in the console. So I want to do here the OR so that you can see the number of observation that we'll have. So I do January, but the OR is, yeah, so that's the representation of OR. So it's the same under 5, and I want it to greater. Okay. To greater than 200. By running this, I'm having the OR condition, which has 344 observations, while the AND condition has 8 observations. What is the difference is after me viewing, I just pressed the OR condition here. It gives me the months not only for January, but also other months which align to test under 5 greater than 200. Because all these are test under 5 greater than 200, but when it comes to the months, there are some of the months which are January and others are in August. Like I have either of them. Either the month is January and the test under 5, or it's other months, but also the test under 5 is greater than 200. So that's how we can see the difference between the AND and the OR condition when we are trying to filter. That's okay to everyone? We've seen the difference because here with the AND condition, I have them just 8 because all of them are months of January and they must be greater than 200 for the test under 5. So we're having this activity here. We can try it, all of us. And yeah, maybe Neema, now you can share your screen. And maybe show everyone where we're going now to filter the DF on the name that you gave to include admin 1 only ISTs and also greater than 100 of the test RDT. Test RDT under 5. So those are the 2 conditions with the AND. Can I stop sharing and you share? You're muted?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Can you see my screen okay?
It's loading, but it's coming. Yeah, we can see it now. Okay. So we're told to filter to include admin 1 equals to east. Yeah.
Yes. East. And what was the other one?
And the other one, we're having an end condition of tests underscore RDT underscore under 5. Yeah. Test underscore RDT underscore under 5, greater than 100.
What's the value?
100. Can we assign it
100.
to something?
Yes.
Mhm.
I've just been using generic DFs, so this will be my second one.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting an error, I think.
Okay, so we're having an error. So you see,
Yeah.
you saw it. Okay, cool. I think we can all follow because these are the errors we are going to get as we do our own coding, and it will help us to learn. So we can view the DF too. Yeah. So we have all the admin one, just east.
Yeah, so we have
and
admin east and yeah, for test RDT under 5, it's all values that are greater than 100.
Yeah. I don't know if everyone in the room is following. Maybe you can try one doing a OR with the same, but
Okay.
the OR condition, someone in the room. Thank you, Nema.
Oh, okay, let me
Phoebe, can
stop
you do that for
sharing.
us? Yeah.
You can try doing it with or.
Yeah, like we do the same with the OR condition.
Should we share our screen?
Yeah, you can share. Maybe one person. I don't know, Sarah, Phoebe, anyone. Yeah.
Sarah can do it.
Okay, thank you. Sarah, can share your screen.
So the year of oh,
Yes.
oh, yeah.
You're allowed to do copying and pasting, Sarah. Yes, we have our data. Yeah, and then we have admin 1 equals to east. Then we're having the OR condition. Yeah. Then we have the test RDT under 5, greater than 100. Yeah. Can you run it? Yeah, can you go on top so that you can see how many, yeah, okay, name it. Assign it to a name so that you can all view it. Yeah. So we can even see there RDT under 5, which has 888 observations and still the same number of variables, which is good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. Do we need a new concept? Then we go for a break? I think we're all active right now. Can we have like a
It's not a new concept, but I just wanted to note, when we're naming variables, there's, what is it? Some, good steps in naming, not steps, but yes, good practice, in naming variables. So it's always best to name them with something that you can remember, or you can even give it a full name. Just so that when you come to use it again, and also when you share the code with everybody else, it can be easy for them to understand what what the variable is. Apart from that, great job.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your screen. And before taking a break, please let us just have a very easy concept for us to really, how can we do the filtering and selecting at the same code, like the same chunk of code that we're going to write? Because now we were trying to just use the select function or just use the filter function. But what if we want to do all of these two at the same time? So there is an operator which is called a pipe operator in dplyr, which allows you now to like combine all these functions. We're going to even have like more than 10 functions that you're going to write at the same time when you're doing all these data manipulations. Like the functions where I wrote like these are data for the rows and for the columns. So if we want to combine these two functions, we use the pipe operator, which is like meaning like then what? Like what then you want to do in your code. For example, the one on my right side is me selecting admin one, like the pipe operator are this percentage greater than percentage. And there is an easy way of keeping that. I think when we're doing the coding, I will tell you like, I think it's Control, Shift, and M. Like when you do Control, Shift, M at the same time, you get your pipe operator. So this is me doing selecting admin one. Then after selecting the admin one, which now it's selecting only one column in my whole of the data set, I want it to filter only the confirmed under 5, which are greater than 200. So it's already selecting one column, which has already altered. Now I'm not having the 17 columns, I'm only having one column. Then I want it to filter my rows. I don't want all the 1,200. I just want the confirmed under 5 greater than 200. So we can try do this. I think, yeah, we can try do this with R. I can show all of you here. So what we are going to do next is pipe operator. Pipe operator. Okay. So at first, what I had was now selecting. So I will say, it has a different format of us writing. We don't do select, then the data frame, then the columns that you're going to select. Because it's the same data set you're starting with it, to all the functions you're going to keep, is you start with the data frame. Like my data frame was DF. And to have the pipe operator, I'll do Control-Shift-M, like at the same time, Control-Shift and M. At the same time, or just do the percentage greater than percentage. And then with that, I do the select. Select. Now, what do I want to select? I just want maybe admin one. Admin one, like it's either east, west, or all that. And then what do I want to do with this admin one? I'll also do a Control-Shift-M, like another pipe. And then I do a filter. So filter. What do I want to filter? Maybe the test under 5. Tests under 5, which are greater, maybe than 100. By me running this, we have an error. Okay. So object test under 5. Okay. So like this. Yes. Because it could not know what test under 5 is without me keeping the columns, because that is me saying in all the tests under 5, I just want greater than 100. So it gives me this, Okay, it's a good practice if we could select admin 1 and test number 5. Okay, so do we all follow what I did? I want to show you because we only have here the admin 1 of 1,200 and only 1 because I don't have the test under 5 in my selected column. So it's really hard for me to follow. But if I do also select the test under 5 here, and then I run, so it gives me this. Yeah, exactly. So what I tried to do here is saying my data frame as DF. Then what do I want to select? I selected, at first I selected only admin 1. Then I filtered a column which was not in my selected data frame, which was really hard for R to like now say, where is that test under 5? That's why I got an error. Then after me saying I select admin 1 and test under 5, like those two columns. So I'm having a data set which has only 2 columns and the same number of variables. But then after me saying now I want to filter the test under 5 greater than 100, it means it only takes out of this test under 5, which were all of them, 1,200, it just takes the one which are greater than 100. So I'm having this, and when I assign it, here it's like pipe, I'll just name it as pipe section. And when I name it, then because I assigned it to like as a new data frame, so I'm having it here on my environment as pipe section. And when I press it for me to view, I have all these tests under 5. And there is a way of you like sorting it directly in your viewing. So if I try to press this, they're like arrows, the upper arrow and the lower arrow, it like sorts. So you see, because I said test under 5 greater than 100, it means even 100 is not counted. It starts with 101. So these are all the 101s, 102s of different admin 1s. Yeah. So maybe we can take a break. Juniper, can we take a break? Yes. So
Of
just a
course.
minute.
I think we all deserve it. And I hope that was really fun and everything. How much time do you think, Gloria? 5, 10 minutes?
Maybe 5 minutes. I think
5
5
minutes?
minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes break. Then we can take a few minutes to do this activity that we have. And we can have someone in the room to present this. I hope it's going to be a volunteer person, not me choosing a name. To present this activity, I'm just going to display it.
Yeah, it's fantastic when people want to jump on sharing their screens. So that's an amazing thing. So please feel free to go for it. I'm going to start the timer for 5 minute break. So I know that everyone is already looking at the task, but maybe let's remove that slide because everyone is jumping on the task rather than
Yeah,
going
sure.
break.
Yeah, let's have a break. It's 5 minutes, not 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll come back and work on the exercise afterwards, everyone. Have a break. Treat yourselves. 10 seconds, everyone. I have to say, Gloria, I have no idea how I have become like this strict timekeeper person. But whenever someone is sitting next to me as well during a session, I always have the timer like in their face as well. But we're trying. All good.
Yeah, so this is the activity. We can have maybe a person in the room, any volunteer, to help us with this, to create a new data set. So we are assigning it, which contains admin 1, confirmed under 5 and months. So these are selecting admin 1, confirmed under 5 and months, and then filtered to have only April confirmed cases. I can stop sharing my screen and maybe someone will share in the room. Thank you for the question actually.
Yeah. So
Oscar, are you sharing your screen? I can read for you for the variables that we're selecting or filtering. Okay, looks like you already did it. You can just explain to us and I think we can follow.
We cannot hear you.
Yeah, we cannot hear anyone in the room. Maybe one person has to unmute.
okay, we're now unmuted.
Now you can start. So you can use. There is an echo now. I think it works better for Harriet's computer. You just need to shout a little bit.
Yeah, Harriet, you can unmute, and then we use your speaker. Hope it's going to be better. I don't know.
Please unmute a computer in the room.
He probably can't hear us. Harriet, can you hear us?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can?
you
Okay.
hear me?
It's better? Yes, it's better now. Can you speak, maybe?
So my data set is called DF. So the
Yes.
questions say create a new data set that contain admin 1. Yes. So there, I can have admin 1. Then I have a confirmed under 5. Yeah. Confirmed.
Are you going to keep the pipe operator at the end?
The 5.
Okay.
Then
Months?
the months. Yeah. First, I forgot to put the pipeline operator.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then I have to select 4.
Can you? Okay.
Then I have admin 1 in the brackets. I have confirmed under 5.
Yes.
And then last, I have the months.
Yes.
Then I have also the operate pipeline again.
Okay.
Then said filter to have only
Filter,
April. So
April,
put the
yes.
filter function. Then to have an April.
Yes.
And then I have months. April. Then I need to see how April has been named on my data set.
Okay.
This has been 5 months.
Oh, yeah, it needs an N. Okay.
Okay.
Then April, my data set shall be written like a APR, so that we stand for April. Right?
Yeah.
Then I'll run it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're having it, but because it says create a new data set, so it means we have to assign this, like maybe df new, and then you assign, and then that's when we get. Do you get it? Like how we were assigning as how we say df, then we assign to read.csv. So we assign this, maybe we give it a new name, because now the one you're seeing in the console is a new data set. You might use it in the future. You see, so for us to do that, we just write in line 25. In line 25, write df underscore new. Yeah. So I'm trying to say, because we were told to create a new data set, so we are assigning the code that he has written to a new name, because we might use it in the. So I was trying to tell him he can write as df underscore new, then you write the assigning sign, yeah, so that it can go to the environment.
Or you can give it any name that you want.
Yeah, any name.
Assign.
Yeah, like the less than with the arrow, like the arrow. It's a less than, not greater. Yeah. Yes. So we can run it.
Yes.
Yeah. So we see we have the, yes, we have the df new on our environment. Yeah. Thank you so much, Oscar.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Nema.
I ran into an interesting issue that I thought we could benefit. Maybe you could also explain why I was getting that. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
It's loading, but I think it's coming in a few. Yes, we can see it right now.
Okay. So it was for the previous activity. I was trying to filter out with the test under 5 being greater than 0. And it ran okay, but when I looked to view the results, I kept on seeing these rows that had below 100, so I wasn't sure why they were popping. And I realized it was because I was using a different name from the actual column name. So I had a capital U here instead of like a small u. So if I put it as small u, then I'm, still getting an error. Maybe it didn't run. Oh, okay. Now I don't know why, because before I thought it was because of.
It's because, can you remove the, is it like the, I don't know how do you call them in English? Yes. Like the
quotation marks?
The quotation marks. And yeah.
Okay. But why then didn't it throw an error when I used an incorrect?
So because that is something that is not like it tried to check on all of the columns that you do have with the tests with the capital U and a 5 greater than 100. So it means all of them were aligning because like it wasn't one of the columns that is there in the data set. So it picks all of them because there is not any that was aligning to a greater than 100.
I
Because what
see.
it does,
So Mhm.
yes, go on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is it just like looking at all of the columns, and because, yeah, as you said, none of them has this condition, none of them fits that condition, or maybe they're all fitting that condition because none of them has that column name. So it was evaluating to true, which is why it was just like
Yeah, it
returning
takes
all
all
of
of
it.
them as true. Yes, it
Okay.
takes.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'll stop sharing.
Okay. Then we can proceed. Okay, so something I think this is one of the last step for us to take so that we can reach to the objective that we have at the like of the objective of this workshop is us using a summarizing function in the data. So we already have selected certain columns and we have filtered the condition that we do want. But what if we want to summarize the data at different variables? For example, we already have the admin one selected, and we have the confirmed under 5, all of them there, maybe greater than 200. But I want a summarization of how many were in West, how many were in East, maybe North, I don't know, Plain and all that. So that is when we do the summarization, and we have to use a group by like, these two will go together. Like you group by a certain variable where that variable is taken as category. Like when you group something, even if it's a numeric, like the data frame takes it as a numeric variable, and we take that we want to summarize by that. It takes it as a as a category. So if it's a 1, 2, 3, it will say how many are ones, how many are twos, how many are threes. You see, it takes it as a variable, as a category, I mean. And how is it written is maybe we want now a summary of maybe the number of cases which were there per month, like how many were in January, February, and all that. So what we do is we first group by months. So it takes those months as category. January as itself, February, March till to December. Then now what do we want to summarize? So summarization always comes with a mathematical, I can say like a mathematical function. Is it a sum, an average, or just number of counts, or maybe even a complicated, what can I say, like a complicated equation can come here after us doing a group by. So here I want to like group by months, then I want to summarize. Now I am calling, because as a summarize, it creates a new variable for like in the new data set that you're going to keep. It's different from mutation because you're going to have mutate where it creates a very new variable, but without grouping something. Here we are trying to group, then we are summarizing. I'm calling it total confirmed under 5 monthly equals to the sum of confirmed under 5. I think we will see it like this is what the results come, and we're going to code to see how it happens. So here we have df group by month, then we summarize the total confirmed data 5 monthly equals to sum of confirmed data 5. So what it does, it takes now, here it has not taken like January to December because it's just done its how can I say, alphabetically. But now we're getting now the total tested under 5 monthly. For April, like that's 69. And for August, like it gives you now the summary because I said only the sum. So if I wanted the average, I will do the average of confirmed under 5 by that month. Yeah, something like that. So I don't know if Janice, you're in the position to like share your screen so that everyone in the room and us, we can see how to do this. Okay, just proceed.
Yeah, I can share my screen, but I also think people are trying it in their screens. So we can
Okay.
do both.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you guys doing it? Yeah, so they're doing it so that they give them like maybe 5 seconds. Fine, 10 seconds for everyone to see if they can do it.
Yeah, let me just have this code in the chat.
Yeah, equals to something. Yeah, so this would be the name of the program. So if this is manake tumetaka vile japo tunaandika yeah, this is and if you don't, usually you see something maybe the third this is confirmed hapa ilibidi iwe yote summarize to confirm because some confirm that I don't like so it's the same. What is now?
Harriet and the people in the room, I don't know if you can allow me to proceed, or maybe if we have any problem. We can try to see maybe two. We can proceed?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we can try see maybe 2 or 3 examples before we go into the activity. So as here I named it into a new data set. So I called it confirmed under 5 monthly. So I'm having my DF and then I grouped by months. Then I summarized. You can name it anyhow. Like here I named total under 5 monthly. You can say it's total confirmed under 5 monthly. Something that is easy for you to understand. So because it's confirmed cases, we'll say total confirmed under 5 monthly equals to now the sum of confirmed under 5. So by doing this, it creates already a new data set, which is conf under 5. It's here. And we have like 12 observations, so it's 12 months. And these are total now confirmed cases of under 5. And the beauty of the concept we had earlier of the pipe is we can now try to select things and filter things here. For example, I can say, how can I name it? Okay, let's write it, then we're going to name it. For example, I want from the DF from the DF, I write a pipe. I want to select the admin 2. Like for example, I want what are the confirmed under 5 for the admin 2 in maybe 2018, for example. So I will select admin 2. I will select conf under 5. Conf under 5 because I want 2018. I will select year. Then admin 2, conf under 5. So after selecting, and something else for a good arrangement of this when you're using pipe operator is after me keeping a pipe, I can just go like on the next line so that you can be able to read rather than going horizontally where you can have a lot of codes coming. So here after selecting, I will say maybe I want to filter. I want to filter now. I want to filter the year only 2018. So I will do filter year equals to 2018. And then what do I want to do? I will group by. Okay, I'll group by admin 2. So I will group. I'll group by admin 2. Because now I want like if there are admin 2, maybe there are 50 admin 2. I want like now maybe the first admin 2, what does it have with the confirmed data 5 and all that. So I'll group by admin 2. And now I will summarize. I'll summarize maybe let's do average. So I'll keep it as average conf data 5. And I'll say I think it mean of conf. So I tried to select the 3 columns that I need. Then I filter that I want only 2018. Then I group by admin. So if they are, and it takes as category. So if admins, they're like 50, so it takes all the 50. It gives me what are the mean of confirmed data 5. And when I try to run this, so we have that as mean, but because I didn't assign to a name, that's why it just has in the console. It's not in the environment here. Like I cannot really view it. So if I want to view it here, I would say mean admin 2. Mean admin 2 confirmed 5. Conf. So if I assign it like this and I run, so I have it here. So these are the average under 5 of the Bakamira, Bonmi, and all that. Like it has arranged them in alphabetically. And if I want like which one has the highest and the lowest, as I said, I can sort it with these arrows that we're seeing here. There is a function for sorting which we're going to see, but we can sort here. So it arranges, this is from the smallest. So maybe Othasi had average of 57.5, confirmed data 5. In 2018, this is to be very specific because I already selected like year of 2018. And then, yeah, so it gives you all of these. They're actually 46. Yeah, there are 46. What is it? These 46 observations and 2 variables. So I think we can do this activity that we do have here of now practicing how to do the select, doing the filtering, and then you group by, and then you summarize. I will display it fully. Do you need the code that I wrote in the chat? Anyone? Or we're good to write? Harriet, can you share your screen and do we see?
I think we can write, right? Yeah. So, okay, you want to select screen.
Let me stop sharing mine.
Okay, so we are creating a new data frame. My data is called data, and we're passing that on to select.
Yeah, it has admin 1, confounder 5, and months. ADM 1. Yeah. Confounder 5. And months.
Right?
Yes. Then filtered to have only April confirmed cases. And also grouped by admin 1. Summarize the sum of confirmed cases.
I'm not about the pipe. Monthly, is it monthly sum?
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it or sum?
April sum, I guess. That's not monthly because we have selected only April.
Yeah, April sum.
Mm-hmm. Confounder 5. Okay. So can we view it?
You want the meeting screen this one.
Yeah, let me just slide.
Okay. Yeah. So we have it as 6 observations. We have 6 observations from Central, East, and all others. So thank you so much, Harriet.
Thank you.
Okay. So we can take few extra concepts for us to do the manipulation, because we already have this as one of the objectives that we had at the end of the day, and I'm very happy that we have achieved that. And the next thing is us adding a very new column in our data set. So adding a new variable in the data set, or changing existing variables. So for example, we had the confirmed under 5 as the number of cases, maybe, or maybe we had the age of people in years. When I want to do it in months, I just do mutate of a new column. So the The writing is like you write mutate as how we were doing. Then what is the new column name that you want to keep? And now we do an argument. Is it a percentage? Is it a proportion or something like that? So we can do an example of creating a variable of a proportion for test confirmed and confirmed positive. Because there are people who were going to test, some of them are confirmed positive, not was confirmed positive. And for us to do is the same, doing a df, then you do mutate, give it a new name. Like I want now the new column that is coming is to be a proportion, like prop positive under 5, which is the same as now I'm giving the argument. What is it? Like, what is this proportion giving me? What is it coming from? So it's confirmed under 5 over the tested under 5. So we can try, and this is what it gives me at the end of the day. And maybe we can try to finish this slide so that we can do both of them. So this is what it gives me at the end of the day. So it creates, you see now, we have a DF which has all the 1,200 observations, but then we have only 18 number of columns. So it has added 1 column extra, and which is this prop positive under 5, because I already kept it as prop positive under 5. And these are the proportions now of confirmed to the test under 5. And we can see here in our data set, we have null variables. So what really do we have to do with these null variables is us removing them in the data set. So to do that, for these few minutes that were left is I'll just share my R, and we're doing mutation. Mutate to add a new variable. So we say that we can now name this something else. So I don't have df new, so I'll say like df extended. And I will keep it now from my data frame that I have. I use the pipes. And then I want to mutate. What do I want to mutate? Now I'm calling this new variable as prop, maybe positive under 5, may just pause. Under 5, proportion of positive under 5, which is equal to saying is conf under 5 over test under 5. Test under 5. So by me doing this and running, we're having a new data set, which is DF extended. So we can see the difference between DF and DF extended, where now the DF had only 17 variables. Now, because we did mutate, so we have added a new variable, which is prop post under 5. And we can see here it has 18 variables from the environment. And when we try to view it, we have it here at the end. Yeah. So we have this proportion of positive under 5 at the very end, and which has some of the null variables. So how do we deal with null variables? We have several methods for us to deal with null variables, but we can take one of the simplest, which is not really sometimes advised because it reduces a lot of observations that we do have in our data set. But we can do drop.na of df extended. So when we run it, but let me do this. Let me give it a new variable so that we can compare, because it reduces the number of rows. So for us to show that, we can write, so it's df. I'm assigning it. df extended with NA. So by me running this, I'm having df extended NA here, and we can see the number of observations which have been reduced. It was 1,200. Now it's 1,175. So there are some of NA's variables that have been observations which have been reduced to remove the NA's. And when we try to view it, to view the data here, we had NA's in the last column. So you see, we don't have NA because with the DF extended on the pros under 5, just on the fourth observation, we had an NA. Because we did a drop NA, now we don't have all the NAs, they're all gone. So that whole observation has been removed. And that's why I'm saying, like, this is not really a good method, because sometimes you like reduce some of the observations that maybe were important. And then, yeah, maybe I can finish a few slides. Yeah. It's time. Juniper, you allow me to take more few minutes?
Yes, you're allowed.
Yeah, let me just finish a few things that. Okay, so that was with the mutation of adding a new column. Something else that you can do is now cleaning the column names, where we use clean underscore names, because sometimes when you have your data, some of the variables are named capital letters, others small letters, others do not have the underscores. So what you have to do is now do the clean. When you just do clean names into brackets the data frame that you have, if it is a DF, it does clean all the column names very perfectly. And also we can do the renaming. Maybe the years, maybe like the age of a person, ages of people are in years, and you want to change them in months, so you can just say maybe years in months, years in like just years as itself, like, yeah, just renaming. We can do that. Something else is as sorting. If you have your data, and as how we have created those a new data frame where it had the admin 1 confirmed cases in April, all arranged randomly, maybe in alphabetic order, but we want to like have them in ascending order or in descending order. This is what we can do. So we just do arrange DF with the test under 5, a certain variable that you want to do the arrangement. And if you want to do a descending order, you can do the one on the right. And yeah, I think that's it for today. And maybe I can speak a minute with this picture. I was so surprised actually having this picture in the slides, because I think it gives a lot of information for us if you think of it. And I said I will surely speak about it. And this is how we can really, I think it's a certain stages everyone has at a certain point in life, in your career or in anywhere. And we can see that there are people who are always still at the downside, pulling one another, and they're the ones, some of them are on top, like celebrating something. And one of the things that I want everyone to learn is the support you can give yourselves to reach at the top, because we're now all of us at the learning stage of all these R and data analysis and all the modeling parts. And what I can say is supporting one another and taking this process as smooth as you can, because you're now learning and you find it very hard. But the more you practice, the more you do all the analysis and different projects, you'll sometimes be at the top and celebrating. So I think that's it. And thank you, everyone. Back to you, Juniper.
Enormous thanks. Yeah, put on the mics, please, and give a round of applause for Gloria. Thank you so much. You did so beautifully. Like,
Thank you, Gloria. Yeah, this
look
is
at that.
nice.
Yeah, and Janice as well in the room. Thank you so much for handling everything.
Yeah,
and
shout out to Janice with all the 6 people in the room.
yeah, no, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope that this was really useful and everything. And now like we're getting into the thick of using R. And it's so exciting, like we're able to wrangle data and everything. I thought because we are a little bit over time, so just first a shout out that there is the self-guided material on the GitHub page to go through. Again, it is the data cleaning steps, almost completely identical what we have been doing today, but just go through it so you feel comfortable with the different functions and everything. Before that, one Friday networking session. So we'll get to chat with each other. We won't have any tasks and everything. And depending if people would like more time in the breakout rooms, or if anyone would else like to keep people on time and it's not just me, I would really appreciate that because I feel like I'm becoming the strict teacher keeping people on time. And I really love it when people take time afterwards as well, like these workshops when people stayed on. Last time we stayed on for another hour and we just kept going about art, and it genuinely brings us so much joy that there's so much like interest and everyone was chatting, and we can talk about art forever, really. And yes, that picture is exactly like what we're hoping to have with our cohort, and I think it's all really important and everything. And again, it's so great to see in the office and what's happening over there. And I hope that whoever is only just online as well, you feel comfortable sharing screens and just jumping on. I hope it's all really good. So for the next session, please have Git installed on your computers, have a GitHub account. This is very, very important because the next session, we have something very special. So I have been asked to give the first section of the talk, and I will be talking about basically different coding languages. And I'm going to try to do it very nice and gently. I'm going to introduce quite a few languages, which won't be we won't go into details, but I want it not to be scary. So like if you have another script, you're like, wait a second, I recognize what this looks like. And then Sarah, who's going to be joining us from Brisbane by that time, she will be walking us through how to set up GitHub repositories and how to work in Git in R, which is going to be super, super important, and hopefully it will be a fantastic session. If we have a bit of time, Gloria, I'll be happy to have a look at the pre-workshop survey, because we currently have 3 responses, but I think it would be really good for us to go through it together if people can stay on, because the answers look very different. So maybe it would be just really handy, to go through it together. So I will start sharing my screen. And if Gloria, you're happy to go through it, and I don't know if maybe I can show just really quickly. Whilst we were going through all the amazing different functions of data wrangling, I thought I would just show you something else. And I was going through it as well, like what we're doing. You can see that I really like comments. I like to keep things tidy. And hopefully it's easy to follow. But what I was saying that something actually looks interesting when we're filtering and doing all these things. And what I did, I was looking at the positivity. Even when we did it in Excel, maybe you guys might have seen this, that if we check the positivity rates, so we calculate, the confirmed and tested numbers, it should be really, like up to 100%, right? That everything was tested and everything is positive. When it's over 100%, that means that they actually have more confirmed cases than tested, which doesn't really make sense because, like, you should have tested everyone and then you have the confirmed results. So I just did a calculation of all the positivity rates under 5 and over 5. I was just, again, using exactly the same functions as we were using today, like all, quite a few, filtering. I'm just looking for high rates. And then visualization. Because when we have Excel sheets and everything, all the data, it's kind of like we're doing something with it, but it doesn't jump at us, like what's wrong. So over here, you can see that this is the positivity rate per month. We have microscopy and RDT and the different ages. What do we have here? 2,500% positivity rate, which means that something in the data entry has gone terribly wrong, right? It's screaming that there's something happening. And then with all these different functions, we would be able to go back and try to find where are these extreme cases. What might have happened? Can be corrected? Should we remove it? Are these outliers? What's happening? So I thought I would just show this, that when you're doing all these different exercises and everything, visualizations will be super important. So in a couple of sessions, this is what we will be doing. So we keep cleaning, we keep checking, we keep visualizing things. Okay, sorry, I rambled a little bit, but I hope that was useful. And I will hand over to Gloria if you're happy to go through some of these answers. So this is again the pre-workshop survey, and we have 3 responses so far. Let's have a look what's happening.
Yeah, so maybe I can also like from one question to another, Juniper, I think we can run into sharing different screens so that I can show them how to do it in R, or I just reply because for us saying for the first response where we are having like we're entering a vector of 1, 2, and 3, assigning it to X. And when we do a class of X, what really does it say? Is it an integer? Is it numeric or double character? Or I'm not sure. Okay, many people said I'm not sure, and others fell into numeric and an integer. So we will try see this in R. Let me just can I share my screen?
Yes, you can. It will switch.
Yeah, I don't want to like answer. So.
You can overrule me. Take over the controls. All good. Maybe that C function, that combine function, is something that might be new for some people. Or do people know what that C means?
Anyone who can say what C does when we say C and then into brackets, keeping the 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, I can give it a try. So it creates a vector of the values that you specify within the C, within the brackets.
Yeah, it creates like a vector. So how it is, so it was a C into brackets, 1, 2, and 3. So when I try to run it, okay, I didn't clear my environment, but already I'm having an X here, and it says it's numeric with 3 entries, like one row and 3 entries of columns. So it's 1, 2, 3. And when I want to do a class of X, and when I run, you see, it even gives me that this is numeric. And this is because I tried to keep 1, 2, 3 as how they are. It's very different if I say X, and I say it's a C of into brackets, and I say it's with this 1, and then with 2, and then with 3. So when I run this, it already tells me that it's a character. So, okay, sorry that I kept X and X, but I think we can change this to Y so that we can differentiate. Okay, it's Z. We can differentiate this 3. So when I run X, that's numeric. And when I run Z, so a class for Z, so it tells me it's a character. So really what happens is, how did you do the entry of the values in your vector format? When I keep as how they are, 1, 2, 3, it means it counts it as numeric. And when I keep the, how do you call them? I forgot them every time. Like the
Parentheses.
yes, yes. So is it parentheses? Yeah, but the one on top, 1, 2, 3, so it takes it as a character. So that's the difference. So with the survey that we had, I think the ones who said numeric, that was okay. And when it's like that, it takes it as a character. That's it, Juniper. Maybe you can share for the second one. I think it was for assigning.
Let me just share again. I just like the survey questions because it seems that 3 people have answered and all the answers seem to be different. I think it's good that we're going through it together. So that was the assignment. So one person was just saying that they weren't sure. Hopefully after this session as well, this has been like ingrained in us, this assignment thing. It is a strange thing to get used to it in R. It's kind of like we're still getting used to it, that there's the script, there's the console, there's the environment, and like how it all works. But hopefully it does it make more sense for anyone completely new to R. Oscar and Phoebe, I know that you guys are like quite new to R. Is the assignment bit, does it make sense?
Yeah, for me, I see it makes sense.
Does it make sense?
It look, this is underscore.
It looks
No. Yeah, it's not assignment operator, I think, because of this underscore.
I see. Yeah, I should have inserted like
I didn't notice this one. I thought it is this hyphen. I turned out to be an underscore, so you need to be very careful to notice that. But for me, particularly, I write this one. I wrote this assignment operator for creating variable. So I didn't notice it.
Yeah, oh, sorry about the confusion. Yeah, I think we get used to this bit. Like, I think it would quite look a bit strange if I don't put the parentheses there. I think this is something that when you're typing to another person a lot about R, you can change like the formatting of the text so it does come across like a code. But for me, it automatically comes as a parentheses because it's supposed to be like, I'm kind of making sure that it stands out, that it's not supposed to be text. But thank you so much for letting us know. With this one though, you can see that it's just the actual function. And let's see what people said. Gloria, do you want to take this away as well?
Okay. Can you copy and paste this data frame A13B? Yeah, so that I can have it.
So let's have a look. What are we doing? Can people follow what's happening here? There's a function, data frame.
It's a data frame.
So Yeah. Yep, go ahead.
No, you can proceed, Jennifer.
It's okay. I was just kind of trying to guide it, like, oh, so we are creating like a data frame. There's an A and there's a B, and we're filling these two columns with numbers 1 till 3. Those like the semicolon or like the two dots. It means that it runs from one number to the end. It's the same in Excel when you selected multiple cells and everything. It was a dot between the cell values, if you remember. And we are combining these three now characters into the B column. So this is how we would read this. And this data frame is going to be called DF object. And the dollar sign is when you can double check or select the columns. So Gloria, would you like to show how it looks like in R for you?
Yeah, I can.
And let's see, we got a reply that it will return an error. One person, I'm not sure. And the other person said that it will add numbers in column A and two letters in column B. Let's see.
I'll share my screen. So we are having a data frame with now a column with 1, 2, 3, and another column with A, B, C. So what we want to do here is when we say data frame and we keep this dollar sign, what it does is I didn't run this. So it still counts as, yeah. So with dollar sign and with that, we're having this is DF now choosing what column you want to do. So it takes A, then you add. We are having a data frame with the dollar sign. It gives you the columns that are there, and then we do B. So this is what we were assigned to do. And when we run this, we're having this error. So we're having a non-numeric argument to binary operators. Why is it doing this? Because, okay, maybe I can say you want to do the class to learn the class for DF. A. A. So the class for A is an integer because, again, we kept 1, 2, 3 without any keeping it as a character. So it counts it as an integer. Then when we do a class for DF with B, it counts it as a character. So what we are trying to do here is adding an integer in the character, like adding number 1 and A. So that's why we're getting an error here as non-numeric argument to binary operators. So I think the one who did the error, I think it was okay. Juniper, can you jump in?
Yes, thank you so much. So as you can see, we are hiding errors. So it's quite easy for us to see who actually ran this code in R and got the error. So yeah, when we're trying to incorporate more of these operations, and then it gives us a little bit of feedback as well, if the respondent has tried it. Chloe, you're sharing again. Would you like to go into anything else?
Stop. I thought you were still talking about my thing.
It's all good. So the next one, again, many thanks for staying a little bit extra. So these are attitudes, like how comfortable you are with things, debugging. So we do have like, quite a few that you're not quite sure how to debug an error. So the word, debug as well, that like you're just getting an error what is the first thing you do? And actually, Google is absolutely fantastic. So if you were to, let me just see, I wanted to, no, let's see that we have this error. And the first thing, you just have to Google, what is this? I use Google, DuckDuckGo search. It's basically Google, but with quite a lot of privacy things. So you can see that often when you're pasting any kind of R code, Stack Overflow comes up. That's usually, it's an amazing R community where a lot of people have posted questions and answers about some errors. I know that like there was a person who was like, oh, yeah, we Google it, but you know, it's actually hard to understand the answers themselves. So on Stack Overflow, you know, it could be quite non-generic or quite specific what their issues are. But I really, really recommend it's a very quick try to first start with just a Googling of the error message. And then if you remember that Sarah showed the question mark, to have functions pop up with descriptions, you know, what it's looking for and such, and examples at the end. So if there's some kind of issue with the function itself, use the question mark itself. I don't know, do people use a lot of ChatGPT? Not so much? Is anyone?
It is very helpful sometimes.
But it can lead you astray. So you also have to know, I would say you will ask ChatGPT if you have an understanding of at least of the error or what you're asking. But usually, sometimes it can lead you astray, but sometimes it's quite not.
Oh, I think it's a lot. And it doesn't, most of the time it gives me accurate answers. Yeah, it doesn't lead, in my opinion, it doesn't take me astray.
Yeah, ChatGPT itself is like, yeah, we could probably run a whole workshop on how to use ChatGPT, because it can go really, really wrong. So don't trust it all the time, definitely. So just to quickly, if we have a few more minutes, go through these. Gloria, if you would like to have a go, there's just one person who said that they are not sure. And two other people said the number 3 is going to be the answer.
Okay, I will share my screen. Just take it from here. Okay, so when we have sum of now keeping it as a vector of true, false, true, and true, and when we run it, so we get the results as 3. You can all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what you get at the end of the day when you do the sum of all these true, false, true, and true.
Maybe if anyone can try to explain why it gets increased.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay. All right.
Okay. So what R does in this vector of Boolean values, yeah, true, false, it will first convert this true and false into numbers, which is 0 and 1. So for true, it will be converted into 1 and false 0, and then it will perform the operation.
Thank you.
Clap for me.
Gloria, you can proceed.
Yeah, I mean, Jennifer can jump in. I think that's it.
That was beautiful. Yes. So the true false becomes the number 0, 1 because it's a binary response, and that's why you're getting a 3. Yeah, it's just good to like also this true and false. It's going to be quite important later on when we're doing data wrangling, this kind of logical thing, because we can actually, like in a data frame, create a column and say that which like are the additive positivity rates greater than 100%, and in the column it would say true, false, and then I can basically say all the ones that are extreme values, it's going to assign a true value, and then you can subset those very high values later on. So it's going to be something quite useful as well to get used to later on. Actually, Gloria, because you already have your screen sharing, the next survey question was actually about the IRIS dataset. That which how do you select the species column from the inbuilt dataset that is called IRIS. And IRIS is going to be something that you might come across if you explore any kind of like ggplot when we're starting to plot. There will be quite a few examples later on, probably using the IRIS dataset online and such. So as you can see, you can use the actual function data, and you can load in built-in datasets into R, which makes it really reproducible later on for people to use it. So the actual question within the survey is that, okay, we have the dataset. How do we select the species column?
How do we select?
The species column.
Okay, so maybe let's name it true. Previous, but now we have. Is it data iris?
It is there.
It gives it as a value.
You can.
Just put in iris into the console.
So now we have to give it a name.
Yeah, it gives the data frame. Maybe we can use the function data frame data iris to create it into a proper data frame.
Then with this. Or just data frame iris. Yeah. I'm having it here. How do we select species?
Yes, how do we extract? How do we get to that column? I think we have already practiced it today.
Yeah, so if we want to not use the pipe is just select and then df2 and then that just jump a line here. And then it's species. Get it. Yes. So we can either do, oh, a bit of S.
I think
Yes. Yes. So we can either do this, select DF, then into bracket, we just want one column species, or if we want to do with pipes, so it's DF2, then we do a pipe, then we select, then we just do species. So with that, it runs either way, and we can give it a new name, maybe just species data frame, like that.
Yeah.
So we'll have it as a, yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And from the data frame itself, you can also use the $sign, if you remember, to select.
Exactly. Just DF2 and then $sign species.
Yes. That's one of those things in R as well, that like there are always just so many ways of doing the same thing. Maybe let's just have a look at just one more thing before everyone can log off. Hopefully it's useful. So we have the data frame. How do we fill the F to include only rows where age is greater than 30? So hopefully there was one person who said that they don't know. I hope that by now after this workshop, because this was the pre-workshop questionnaire, this has become quite easy with the filter function and just using it like that. I think everything else, is just a bit of feedback for us. So thank you so much again. I'm going to stop sharing now. So hopefully, again, thank you so much, Gloria and Janice and everyone. I hope that was like a really fun, quick things to like get going in and everything. And then the next session, we're getting into the world of Git, and we will try our very best to make it really fun and engaging. Gloria, Janice, would you like to add anything before we log off?
Janice can do it on behalf.
No, I don't think there's much to add. Just thank you to everyone for today. I know we were kind of fast at some point, but I'm glad that we're all able to catch up. Also, we could really use the networking session on Friday if you have any questions. After you practice, when you practice, you always realize what you know and you don't know. So you can really utilize the session to ask any questions that you might have. But also you can reach out to me or Gloria anytime during the week. If you have any pressing issue, we'll be here to help. But yeah, thank you so much for your participation as well. Hopefully we'll be seeing you in a few months facilitating our sessions. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And maybe, Juniper, you can also share, I'm not sure if everyone has the link to the map resources for the data manipulation, and you can go more into deep when it comes to this manipulation concepts.
Yes, so I have shared it in the chat before, but I will do it again, and I will do it on WhatsApp as well. And then I will see you all on Friday. Have an amazing week. Yeah, I really hope that everyone has got in touch with their mentors. You have set up your chats. I will be asking your mentors next Monday if everyone has got in touch. So if someone might not have done it just yet, please feel free to just introduce yourself and set up your first chat. That would be great. Thank you so much again, everyone, and enjoy the rest of Monday and see you all soon. If anyone has any questions, just let me know. But otherwise, goodbye.
Goodbye.